Hello everybody! Last time we made the Willow Rose farm, and as you can see right here, we actually managed to make it work quite well, which is fantastic. But when I came back, I gotta realize that these chests right here for storage just won't cut it at all. And I was so tired of this system in total, so I decided I need to do a renovation and pulled out this whole side. This side will be pulled down as well. But as you can see, just moving the items out just takes up a lot of space. We have a lot of stuff currently. And for the same reason, we need more storage. So, my idea here, first of all, is to have the most general items being sorted by these, I think it's Impulse SV item filters. They are extremely simple, and it also has the advantage of just being, first of all, easy to set up, and that it does it automatically. I've set this up so I just put things in and just will get sorted without me thinking about it. Before, I had to turn on the sorting system and I had to go back and forth, and it was just like very difficult. The main portal right here. Alright, let's go up here. The main portal we have right here will be moved over here. And over here we will have the more specific items. I won't do specific sorting system like these, or well, I can't really do it because there's too many items to sort. However, we don't really need all of them. So for example, I would sort out iron into this one, gold into this one, and diamond into this one. And then I will have things that I think relate to it in these as well. So anvils, for example, would be here. The golden apples, and diamond horse armor, you know, stuff like that, right? Redstone will be sorted into this one. But as well as that, I will have all my redstone components in these, and the same for these. I'm thinking this should be just miscellaneous items. This should be anything related to flora, like leaves and stuff. And this will be anything related to mob drops. So yeah, that's the plan currently. I'm kinda assuming that you know how these storage systems work. But in case you don't, I'm just gonna explain it. It more or less looks like this. There is not too much to it. I only have this. So what it does is that... Oh, this is maybe the worst one I could have chosen. This hopper, right? So you have one item you're interested in filtering. So whenever anything crosses by here, if the item crosses by a red sand, it will go downwards. And because there's exactly 22 items in here, the comparator will only have a signal of 1. If it goes 1 higher, then it will reach this point, which will turn off the redstone torchness underneath. I'll just show you the side right here. And this is a very easy sorting system. It does not take too much to make. It does, however, not have the multi-sorting that this system has. However, this system has its own problems that I just really don't want to deal with anymore. For example, always having to leave one item behind. So I feel in the long run, a system like this would be more useful. As well as that, I've noticed with myself that whenever I need to make something, whenever I need something, for example a button, like before I had buttons right here, this is quite useless for me, because normally I would just go get some stone and then make that to buttons instead. One kind of handy thing I've realized while making these sorting systems is that take an item you have a lot of, for example puppies I have a lot of because I have an iron farm, and rename it. So I renamed these to filler because they are basically filler items. But because they are named filler, whenever I collect a puppy in the world now, it won't get sorted together with these, so this will still work. And I can basically merge the two items together in that way. Okay, the storage system is actually more or less done now, as you can see. Damn, just changing this room, it changes so much of how this works. I'm actually considering just expanding the floor now to go all the way out. That might be a good idea. Now let's do our first test of the system. I have this chest right here that has a couple of different things. And there's a bunch of these that does not get sorted, like rails and the minecart. So I'm interested in seeing how it handles this, because... Oh, okay, there are. I was worried that there was no items. The ones that are left should end up in these chests all the way down here. Where is my stuff? There. They should end up in all these down here. I have actually a few stuff laying around. But we will see, because if there's any holes in my system, then they won't. So I have to check through all the chests when this is done. Everything seems to work so far as I can see. The bamboo at least is making all its way over here. So what's left now is a lot of cleanup, and I have to remove this part of the sorting system as well. This is so odd. If you remove these, it takes them a while before they break. One of the next things I'm gonna do is to fill this whole area up, have a glass plane all the way around. However, one of the things we are currently lacking is sand. And I don't really want to go pick some up again. So I think it's time to create a sand generator. And I'm currently thinking we can actually use the one we just have in our building right here. We have this mechanism to just transport us over there. I am maybe gonna change this. I'm not too satisfied with how it works currently. It does work and it's kind of funny, but I think it could be better. Yeah, we have a portal right here. Okay, so in order to create the sand generator, we will have to remove these end portal frames. Luckily, these are not considered full blocks inside the game. They are not like this one. This is kind of semi-transparent in the way the game thinks of them. So we're able to use a bug that was found by Raceworks, where if we use, I think I have to remove more of this wall. But if we grow this mushroom, when it grows, it will replace some of the wall. I hope this is good enough. Oh yeah, okay, good. And as you can... oh yeah, I placed it the wrong place. It's typical. And we go again. There we go. As you can see, it removed this side. I've already done it to the other side as well. A kind of interesting thing is to see that the bottom part of the portal is actually not textured. So you can only view it from the top. I just decided to build the rest of this machine just off camera. It's designed by Raceworks, and I will leave a link for it in the description. But when we do this, what will happen? Oh, I have to turn the sound down. What it's going to do now is that it's going to create copies of these sand blocks inside the end dimension. And we'll look at it in a second. But yeah, as you can see, it's quite a simple design, and we can just have it here. And it works for all folding entities. Oh yeah, I guess that will happen sometimes. And if we go to the end, as you can see right there, it came over here. So what will happen is that it will get kind of teleported to this place, however with some momentum. So it will be pushed to one side, in this case here. So let's for example say we want to stop it right here. Do I have anything I can do that with? I'm guessing I can do it with this one. So if they get teleported here and go over here, then they fall down and get destroyed automatically. And we should be able to pick them up. And use maybe a hover actually. That as well. The main problem that we will encounter, however, I did this wrong, is that this will only load when we are in this area. So whenever we're not here, so if we stay AFK in our main world, in our overworld, I mean, then we will create a lot, and when we come in here, we will get it all at once. So instead of getting this gradually, we'll get it all at once. And we don't really want that, because that's not very ideal. And I don't know really a good way of fixing this without just using a second account. Okay, and I'm just gonna demonstrate this again. So if we go here, as you'll see, yes, this is the problem. It all comes at once. And it's not really able to get picked up, and we have to collect it ourselves. And I'm not even able to pick it up. So yeah, I think if I have to use this farm, I have to have 2 accounts and have a collection system right here. One thing I find interesting about a design or machine like this is where it falls in terms of cheating. Because it isn't an intended mechanic, right? So you could definitely make a case for it being cheating, or at least on vanilla. However, I feel like machines like these, some of them at least, they do bring more enjoyment to the game. Because the game is based a lot on automation. However, it is... I forgot the rockets. Well, I'm smart. Even though the game is based a lot on automation, there are just a bunch of things that you can't do. For example, if I wanted to create maybe a fast concrete maker. Okay. This one down there. Alright, this should work. If you wanted to create a fast concrete maker, right, you would have to use a bunch of TNT, because you have to destroy it somehow. But to destroy it and get the TNT, you would have to use sand and gunpowder. Gunpowder you can farm, but sand you can't without using a machine like this. So it means basically you're sort of bottlenecked in a way by what you're able to do, how much time you spend, I mean. And that's just like for me at least, getting the sand here is basically a waste of time. I want to spend that to do something else. So, but that's sand, right? What about more expensive or rare items? Let's say diamonds, for example. Well, personally, I feel that this game is very old, and diamonds is not really hard to get. So I would say that if you don't really want to go mining and just want the thing, I don't see any problem in using duplication glitch. I personally won't do it, but that's more because, first of all, I don't find it because I find it easy enough to get, and secondly because I want to try and experience make some TNT, some mining borders to try and like create huge holes for us. So I see that as a kind of challenge that I want to experience, and in that, okay, nice. I think it's starting to work as it's set now. Yeah. I forgot it again. Oh yeah, and in that sense, it isn't really gonna enhance my experience, but something like this is gonna enhance my experience playing this game. And that's where I personally feel like the line should be drawn in terms of is this okay to make or not. One thing I would like to say, however, about farms like these is that for the most part I would try and avoid this kind of stuff, not because of any kind of ethical reasons, but mainly because stuff like this, they work on glitches, and glitches get patched. So I don't really like the idea of spending a lot of time creating farms that just won't work later. I have the same problem with this tree farm we have over here, where I use TNT duper, where the design has been switched out. And personally, I just really want to create I personally just want to create designs that use vanilla mechanics, just because then I don't have to redo them later. Whenever I can, that is. This is also partially the reason why I'm fixing this place up, because, for example, this area right here, oh yeah, it uses 0 tick farms, and these have also been patched. So this is not really worth anything anymore, and I kind of want to use the space for something else now. And with that gone, look at all the space we have now. It's great. And if you look all the way over here, right, this is all the bamboo we had left over. There's a lot of it. This will probably, we can use this as fuel, at least for some time, but I think it will run out quite quickly. I'm using this to get some glass currently, and yeah, it really quickly runs out. We still have a few of these left with a few charges in, so I'm gonna let these stay for now until like we have used them up. Oh, I used the wrong one. Okay, so these two are now useless. There we go. Okay, so I can move these 3 now. To be honest, this is probably more green dye than I will ever need in this playthrough. And this is the place. Going through all this sorting kind of makes me realize that I also really need more shulker boxes, because besides all the ones that are in the system now, these are pretty much the only ones we have left.
And there we go. We might need to do something in terms of the lighting. It's quite dark in here. I'm not really sure how, but we'll figure something out. But nevertheless, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time.